Okay, we want to talk about the image editor within Vizrt. And the image editor makes it possible to modify images in the Graphic Hub database rather than then exporting it, taking it into an external program like Photoshop, and then re-importing it. You can make some changes right to the images inside Vizrt. And to access it, you just need to go into your I tab, find a folder where you have some images. So here we have an image of a switcher. We can just double click on that and it brings up our image editor here. So I'm going to zoom out a bit so we can see this image. And what we have, of course, is up here in the upper left, it tells us the information. We have our size of this image, we have the name of it, and the format here. So on the left, we have a column here of things that we can manipulate. Number one, we have an alpha, and this makes it transparent. So up when we highlight the alpha here within the left column bar, it makes it present within the option up here at top, and then we can adjust the amount to whatever we need. Once you get it to where you want it to, you just hit apply. Now we also have a blur, and again, once you highlight the blur, it'll enable it up in this window, and then you can apply the amount of blur that you want to. And you notice this time we're getting a little preview up here, and again, if you just preview and apply, it will show you the preview up there and apply it down in the window. We also have a charcoal, and again we select charcoal, and it gives us a radius and a sigma that we can apply. Right here it's giving us the preview, and if we wanted to apply that to our image, we just hit apply. I'm going to wait to apply everything. As we go through this, we're going to now select the color gamma, and here we can adjust the red, the green, and the blue of our image as well. We can preview that. Let's apply that one, and you can see it gives it a green tint here. Now we have a contrast and hue where we can adjust the brightness, the saturation, and the hue. Again, we'll hit apply on that one. Changes our image. We have convert format. Here, it told us we had an RGB format, but we can change it to RGBA, an alpha, a luminance, luminance alpha, DXT1, or DXT5. You make the selection, and it will apply it at any time. If you want to save it, you can save it. You can do a save as or to close. And we just close this, and it asks you, do you want to save it? Yes or no. You can just hit close if not, and then you can just double click again and go right back into the image editor. To zoom in or out, you can use your middle mouse button, roll it, and it will give or lessen or increase the amount you can zoom. We also have a crop and add selection here. We can crop this image if we want to crop a little bit off each side. So the left side and or the right side, we can crop it. We can crop it the top and or the bottom. We can even add it some too if you want. So if you go into the negative numbers, that's going to actually add some of the image size to it. We have an edge here. We select edge, and it gives us the radius here that we can adjust as well. We have our preview and apply then. Our next selection is our emboss. We have two selections for that, an angle and a value, and you can see how that affected the image as well. Then we have the option to flip it. So you can flip vertical or flip horizontal. So once we hit horizontal, you can just see that it flips that image around. We also have a Gaussian blur here. So we have a range and a sigma within that Gaussian blur. Again, if you want to apply it, we'll just apply that to the image. I opened a new image here to go through the rest of these settings here, and the gamma setting gives us one option. We have a value that we can adjust or readjust. Then we can have an invert, and if we invert that, you can see how it affects that. We have a posterize, and we can posterize that. We'll apply it to that picture as well. Quantize colors, and it gives us one value in there. And again, we'll go ahead and apply that one. This time we're going to save it, so we'll do a save as. We'll just select the folder where we want it to go, and we can just give it a new name here. We'll call it ZZ, and we'll hit save. We'll close, and here you can see our new image that we manipulated within our editor. If we go back and just open up a new image, finally, the last few settings here we have a rotate, and it comes up in degrees. So if we needed to rotate the image within here, we could do that. You can see how that affects it, and it creates the white background. At any time, we can just reset it by hitting the little reset button right next to that value. Then we have scale. So it tells you up here in general information the size of this image. We also have, once we hit the scale, it tells you 100% and it tells you the width as well. We can decrease this by either by typing in the width or the height specifically, whichever we need, or we can just reduce the size by, let's say, 50% or 25%, whichever you need. You could hit apply and that will reduce the size of that. Now we also have a solarize setting here, one value for that. As we increase it, it's going to solarize this picture. Okay, after our solarize, we have a spread pix, and again, a value that we can increase or decrease, and we can apply it or preview it. Then we have a stretch. And once we bring up the stretch, we can stretch the width by a percentage. We can stretch the width by a certain amount, by pixels if we have it. And we can increase the height by a percentage and or by amount of pixels. We also have a swirl, and this is measured in degrees. So we can swirl this and we'll apply that. You can see how that manipulated the photo as well. It's just merely applying a swirl to it. Finally, we have a wave. We have an amplitude and a wavelength that we can adjust, and we'll just go ahead and apply that to the image as well. You can see how that manipulated it. Now at this time we could either choose to save right over this photo, we could do a save as to save it as a new photo, or we could just close it, which in my case I'm going to do. I don't want to save it, and then it will just ask you, the changes have been made but not saved, so it will prompt you, and I'm just going to go ahead and hit close. So this is a quick way to be able to manipulate any of your images within Vizrt itself rather than taking it outside into an external program. You just double click on any image that you want, and then you have all these options to change it down here.